Teenagers, whether runaways or throwaways, are finally being counted in Chicago's homeless population. They've been there all along, but young people have a way of masking their situation. We may see them and think they're just kids hanging out, when in fact they're running out of options.
I've slept in abandoned buildings. I've slept in people's houses without them knowing, under their porches. I've slept on people's lawns. I've slept in Lincoln Park.
Sleeping at different people's houses night by night.
What were your options?
Either this or on the street.
This is Belfort House, run by TLP, Teen Living Programs, and Adrian is one of the lucky few to find space here. 24 private rooms in a dorm-like setting on the south side for homeless youth aged 17 to 21. It's the exception to the rule in Chicago, a place geared toward their needs, which are very different from the thousands of adults who are homeless.
Especially abnormal to be homeless at a young age.
Dr. Rosella Barnes runs Belfort House. A recent study found this city needs about 100 more just like it.
On any given night in Chicago, there are 2,000 young people who are homeless.
And there are how many beds that are really geared to young people?
Less than 200.
So that's a 90% service gap.
Indeed.
Startling figures when you consider that the last time the city made a plan to end homelessness about 10 years ago, teenagers were not even mentioned, maybe because homeless teens can be hard to spot.
It's like until I would say no one ever asked my living situation, neither did I tell.
They want to blend in, they want to wear the same clothes, they want to style their hair the same, they want to look normal because they understand there is a stigma when you say homeless.
Some ride the trains all night and find any way necessary to stay clean.
How would you stay clean if you had no place to stay?
Like they use McDonald's restrooms, school restrooms, anywhere that has running water.
They end up on the streets for lots of reasons. Abusive or incapable parents.
We got kicked out on the street. I guess she wasn't paying the rent.
The death of a caregiver, like Adrian's grandmother.
I was living with her, and once she passed away, I didn't have nowhere else where to go.
Often it's their own rebellion.
And my mother couldn't handle it anymore, so she was like, sorry, I love you, but you gotta go.
But one of the most common reasons is family rejection of a kid's sexual orientation.
Especially in the Black and Latino community, because I think our community says something strong, very strong about it's not acceptable, it's not okay, you can't live in my house and be like that.
I had some issues with my sister accepting me as an openly gay person.
In this world, a lot more people are accepting, but there are cases like mine where parents still kick people out for being queer.
The Howard Brown Clinic runs a drop-in center for homeless teens on the north side. Many of the young people here have decided to stop hiding and start advocating.
If people don't have a place to sleep, then how can we make that happen? How can we make housing happen?
But the goal has to be more than housing, more than just a cot and a meal.
It's important that they understand they have to work on building skills while they heal from the trauma so they can be successful.
Oh, so your goal is?
To be a gynecologist.
I like to cook, I like to sing, draw.
I want to be one of those people who graduated in a sense from the program and be able to come back and help others to say, I made it out, you can do it too. You just have to put your best foot forward and keep marching.
I have to thank the courageous young people from TLP, from the Broadway Youth Center, the Night Ministry, for sharing their stories with all of us, and the hardworking counselors and agency folks, the outreach teams that hit the streets at all hours of the night. They could certainly use all of our support, and right now they're gearing up for a major overhaul in the way Chicago tries to end homelessness. To help or to get help, I've put some information on our website. You can go to myfoxchicago.com.